Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Miami Dolphins. So before we get into today's video, I want to share a stat with you guys that really stuck out to me, and I had no idea, and I didn't know it was this bad, but it really blew my mind. Ryan Tannehill lost 717 yards last season, second to only Cam Newton, on catchable passes that weren't caught. That is insane, because if you guys know Ryan's stats last season, he hit over 4,000 yards, so if let's just say all of these passes were caught. Now, obviously not a perfect, you can't catch every ball, you know what I mean? But for that amount of yardage off of drop passes is insane, man. He would almost pass for 5,000 yards. So that's crazy. That's crazy. That is an insane stat. I cannot believe it was that bad. I remember talking to you guys about Kenny still dropping a lot of balls last season, and it's good to see that he's improving, especially since he's in a way better offense, obviously way better coaching staff. But my point is that that is an insane stat, and I thought that would be cool to share with you guys. So, before we get into the really bad news, I want to talk about the not so bad news, but it is kind of bad news. Well, it's definitely bad news, but Isaiah Pead, if you guys don't know, obviously one of the shining stars in this preseason, one of the best players, the most consistent players of this preseason, is out for the rest. He will miss, I think, 2 weeks, which is huge, with a hamstring injury, which is definitely going to affect how we decide, which is a huge blow to the Miami Dolphins to figure out how we're going to decide this running back rotation. He was obviously one of the most bright spots in this whole preseason, one of the most shining stars of the Miami Dolphins, one of the most definitely probably the most consistent besides Ryan and Kenny. That's a huge blow to this team, man. Obviously, we're trying to figure out who's going to be in the rotation. Jay Ajayi not looked as good as I would like him to have looked. Obviously, not all his fault. The run blocking has been absolutely terrible this whole preseason, but Isaiah Pead has looked really good. I know there's a lot of Dolphins fans out there who love him, and I hope this doesn't affect him staying on the roster or not. I hope we don't cut him. I hope he still has the opportunity to make the team, and I'm sure he will. And I swear to God, if he does get cut, dude, I will make a rant video that's 10 minutes long about that, because this kid has talent, and he can definitely play. So let's get to the really bad news. And the really bad news is, if you guys don't know, Jenkins, I think he had something on his knee. I don't know if he had to scope it. He hurt his knee, and when I heard that he hurt his knee, I think it was against the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken. When I saw it and heard it, I didn't think it was bad as it was, but it is pretty bad. He will miss the first week of the regular season against the Seattle Seahawks, which is a huge blow to the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, Jelani, our linebacker core hasn't been playing that great. They looked way better against the Atlanta Falcons, against a really good running attack that the Falcons have with Devontae Freeman. But they looked way better. But this is one of the positions that is of concern on this Miami Dolphins team, and it's huge blow since we're going against Seattle offense that loves to pound the rock, and they have one of the hottest running backs in the league, if not the hottest running back in the league right now. That's a huge blow to this Miami Dolphins team. And that hopefully we can. Now the rumor is that it's going to be between Spencer and Neville. I wish it was just going to be Neville, like we knew for a fact who it was going to be. It was just going to be Neville Hewitt. I really like Neville Hewitt. Obviously not the best between the tackles, easily blocked, but he's very good in coverage. I like Neville Hewitt in coverage way more than I do Spencer Paysinger. So that hopefully Neville starts. Let me know. I hope Neville starts. But let me know down in the comment section below who you guys want to start. I definitely would rather have Neville start over Spencer there. Also, we got some really good news, and I already knew this was gonna happen, but to hear it confirmed was huge, and it was like, this is actually real, this is actually happening. It's great news for this organization, the Miami Dolphins. That Xavier Howard will play the last preseason game, which is huge, because obviously the secondary not looking so good in this preseason. They looked really good in game 1. Game 2 against Dallas obviously looked the worst they've looked all preseason. Against Atlanta, we saw some holes, and we're like, oh, Tony Lippett, can he start? We don't know. Bobby McCain, not so good outside. He needs to be moved inside and stay there. So we definitely need Xavier Howard to step up, and it would be so huge if he's the player who we think he is. Because and obviously it's so hard to lean your whole set, because it would be if Xavier Howard, and obviously Chris Culliver, but especially Xavier Howard. If Xavier Howard is as good as we think he is, that is the saving grace to this Miami Dolphins team. Because if we can't get this secondary to be half decent, that's not good, man. That's not good in a division with Tyrod Taylor and Tom Brady, who like to stretch the ball deep. It's not good. So hopefully we can figure that. Hopefully Xavier Howard's and I know for a fact he will be. I'm not concerned about that. But it's reassuring to see that with your eyes. So that is going to be it, guys. I am SkyX83. A lot of good news and a lot of bad. And I will see you guys in the next one.